Hi friends, welcome to Motherhood and Homemaking. I'm so happy that you are here because today I want to share some motivation for you in cleaning your home, especially for those of us who kind of just don't feel like it, because I know we can all get that way, especially in the cold winter months. So while I am cleaning up my kitchen, loading the dishwasher, and cleaning around the kitchen table and the family room area, I want to change your perspective of cleaning. Cleaning our home is often seen as like a chore. And whenever we look at it that way, well, of course, we're probably going to dread it most of the time, especially if we are cleaning up behind others. Because cleaning up behind ourselves, well, that's one thing. But when we're cleaning up behind others, sometimes it can be unpredictable. Sometimes it can feel repetitive, because why on earth do we have to keep on cleaning up the same things over and over again? Shouldn't our husband be picking up behind himself? Shouldn't our kids be cleaning up behind themselves? But there will come times where, just like we make messes, they might leave messes as well. And as the homemaker and as the wife, we are called to serve our family in several different ways. If you're telling yourself that you're cleaning up behind your spouse and your children all day, then yeah, it can sound kind of rude when you're constantly cleaning up and they're constantly messing up. But I want to shift your perspective a little bit. What if cleaning became less about following behind and picking up behind others, and less about perfection and more about creating a space of peace, joy, and comfort and functionality for your family? I thought that today's Clean With Me was the perfect demonstration for the motivations that I'm sharing on today, because you will see in several parts of this video that there are some things that I'm kind of cleaning under and around. For instance, if my husband leaves his laptop on the kitchen table or his coffee cup on the side of the sink, certain things like this used to really bug me, because how can I clean a table with the laptop on it? And why is the cup on the counter and not in the sink? But when I realized that the reason why the laptop is on the table is because my husband enjoys working at that table, and when I realized that he gets a sense of peace and it's kind of just easier for him to go about it that way, I'm more happy, to help. And this way he doesn't feel like he has to go off to an office to work. He can do it right at the kitchen table, right in the midst of me cooking or cleaning or talking his ear off, and right in the midst of my son talking his ear off and running around the house, the baby girl screaming. But if my husband can still find peace and comfort in working at our kitchen table, that brings me joy. Making sure that things like that comes easy to him is possible. Actually, I don't see it as cleaning up behind him. I see it as, this is his ease, this is his convenience, this is his comfort. And I want that to be a thing to him, because otherwise he'll hide away in his office, which is in the basement, where I wouldn't see him half the day. And the same thing goes for having his coffee cup on the side of the counter. He told me that the reason he doesn't put it in the sink is because he comes back for that same cup multiple times throughout the day. Now, imagine if instead of having the same coffee cup, he was dirtying up multiple dishes. Because if he would have just put that coffee cup inside of the sink, then that meant he would have went back for a second cup, which create more dishes for me to wash. Or let's think about the fact that by making coffee at home, we're also saving money. So basically, I'm trying to inspire you to look at some of the things in your home that bugs you and that bothers you, especially when it comes to cleaning behind others, and try to use it and challenge yourself to shift your perspective. Another good one is children, for instance. Their toys are always all over the place. For one, I highly recommend that you utilize a toy rotation system, or even try to declutter out some of the toys that they aren't using, maybe donate them and things like that. But for those toys that they're still playing with, it's truly a blessing that they are, because they can be doing other things. They could be scrolling social media on their phone. They could be playing video games all day, watching television all day. It could be a situation where maybe we can't even afford to provide toys for our children. So when we look at those things in a form of a blessing as opposed to an annoyance, we can really shift our perspective. Not to mention, when our children mess up the home with toys or anything, it leaves a really, really easy way for us to use it as an option to teach them some responsibilities, ways that you can help people that you care about. You can help me out by cleaning up your toys. Not only does it teach them responsibility because you are to clean up behind yourself, but it also teaches them that it's nice and kind to help people, so that they're not picking up their toys because they know it annoys you. I have to clean this up because mom's gonna be annoyed that I keep throwing my toys down. But more so, it's I'm gonna pick this up because I want to. It's my way of showing mom that I appreciate all that she does. If we didn't have those everyday things, then we wouldn't have these moments and these options to teach our children, to disciple them in the way that God intends for us to. And all the while we are tending to the home and our spouses are providing for us every day, we wouldn't even be able to stay home and clean up the home if we were out and about working. So I also like to look at cleaning just as my children can look at a way of cleaning as showing, okay, I respect what she does and I appreciate her. We can do the same thing for our spouses and say, hey, I'm gonna clean this up just to show him, like, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, especially on days where maybe they are having a hard time or they might be having a difficult day, because any of us who have ever been in the workforce know we can have very difficult days. And my spouse, I don't know if yours is similar, but he doesn't always voice when he's having a bad day because he just doesn't complain a lot. So I wouldn't be able to tell if he's having a bad day. But by picking up behind him and making sure he has fresh coffee, fresh laundry, and things like that, it's my way of saying, maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe this will make you feel a little bit better. And that way we can, help each other. Yeah, it's definitely an active service, and that's okay because God, He wanted us to serve. He told us that whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. So we're not serving our spouse and our children by cleaning our home, but instead we are serving and glorifying God, which He has instructed us to do. Maybe play some worship music. Think of your cleaning as your way of worshiping the Lord, and do it at the same time and say, hey God, I'm cleaning up my house right now, and I hope that you will help me to rejoice and be glad in this, and do it not for man but for you. When you approach cleaning as an offering to God, it transforms what would normally be seen as a chore into something meaningful, and in that itself, it can make it more beautiful. Even wiping counters can be an act of worship. You can pray out loud as you clean and thank God for your home, for your family that He has blessed you with. Imagine asking and praying for something, and then when you get it, the thing that you've been praying about, you're now grumbling and complaining about. And so I get it. This isn't all easy. We are still going to have days, and I have many of these days, and praying has helped me, but changing my mindset about it and shifting my perspective on it is definitely a good way to help me feel a little bit better on those days when I just do not feel like cleaning. Another thing you can do is anchor your cleaning to something that you already enjoy doing. For instance, I started this vlog off very, very brave, because who begins cleaning without coffee? I feel like that's brave, and I was being very brave, but not for long. You will see soon that I had to stop and pause and fix myself some coffee. But having coffee is something that I already do. You can anchor a part of cleaning to something you already do. For instance, if you are going to make a pot of coffee in the morning anyway, use that time to also wipe around the coffee pot and wipe the coffee pot down, maybe wipe the sink, so that it's already anchored to a habit that you already have, making it less noticeable, if that makes sense. Another thing that you can do is while you're bathing your children, when they're at that age where you can't leave them in the bathroom alone, but they can sit up, but you still have to keep an eye on them while they are taking their bath, maybe try tidying up the bathroom sink or the pantry inside of the bathroom, or restocking some of your essentials like filling up the soap dish. Another thing that I love to do is while folding laundry, I like to watch a YouTube video for motivation. Even like right now, while I'm cleaning up the house, sometimes I like to put on a cleaning video in the background, which I hope my video can serve that purpose for you guys as well. But when I am on the treadmill in the morning, I don't particularly like working out, but I do like a good morning podcast. So instead of getting up and just hopping on the treadmill, I hop on the treadmill because I enjoy listening to my podcast, and it's the perfect way to do so. To just put on my headphones, dim the lights, hop on the treadmill, and I have anchored working out to listening to a podcast, which I've already enjoyed doing in the first place. That's another thing you can try when you kind of just don't feel like cleaning. I'm basically trying to share some different things here, some unique perspective in ways that you can begin to enjoy cleaning up the home, as well as some biblical perspective ways that I can encourage you where you may need it. Let's just piggyback off of what I mentioned before about involving your kids. There are definitely some ways that we can get help from our children. Teach your children that cleaning isn't a chore, it isn't a punishment, but it is a way to take care of the things that God has blessed you with. Teaching your children how to steward the things that God has given them early in life will help them to learn how to do it as they get older. And this is really, really important. I feel like this wasn't instilled in me, but you have to take care of what you have. Imagine you get a new toy and you tear that toy up so bad that 5 days later, now the kid doesn't want to play the toy anymore, because even though it used to be a good toy, now it's all ruined and messed up. The same thing goes for things that we have. We teach our children that we ought to take care of the things that God has blessed us with. Not only are we teaching them that it increases the longevity of it, but also we are teaching them to be thankful for the things that God has given us. So if God has blessed you with a warm bed to sleep in, do your part and make up your bed. It's a great way to say, thank you, Lord. Next, I want to talk about decluttering. Because if you don't like cleaning, then the best way to go about that is to just own less stuff. The more pictures you have hanging up on your wall, the more pictures you have to dust off. The more laundry you have, the more you have to wash. The more you have to wash, the more you have to fold. The more toys you have, the more you have to declutter, the more you have to clean. That's just how it goes. When you have 5 pairs of pants in your drawer, yeah, you have to wash them every 5 days, but you're only gonna probably take 5 minutes to fold up the laundry that you are washing. And when you have 10 pair, you're probably gonna wait 5 extra days to wash your laundry. So now when you're folding, you now have 10 pairs of pants, 10 t-shirts, 10 pairs of underclothes, and now you have a lot more of clothes to fold. The best way to have less to clean is simply to just declutter. Cleaning is easier when there's less stuff to clean. So when you are tidying, as you do so, ask yourself, is this something that we need? Does it bring me joy or serve a purpose? Is it worth the space that it takes up? Here's the thing. My husband finds joy in grinding up coffee beans. I do not. It makes a big mess, in my opinion. Maybe we need to find one that's a little bit more efficient. I don't know. But we have this coffee grinder, and I feel like it just takes up more time. It takes up space. It does not bring me any joy. In fact, it annoys me. Does it serve a purpose? Yeah. For me, probably not. But for my husband, he prefers it this way. So this is something that I would love to declutter. And so in that way, I want you to think of things as well. You can set a donation box right by your door. Make it cute, a nice, cute little basket, something that you're actually gonna want to use. And as you're cleaning up, whenever you are cleaning, everything that you're doing, everything that you're cleaning, say, does this bring me joy? Does it serve a purpose? How often do we use it? Is it worth it? If the answer to those questions, majority are a no, you ought to go ahead and put it in a little basket and find somewhere to donate it, because in this way, trust me, it'll bring you so much more joy. I love decluttering, and this is something that I have just started maybe a year or two ago, I want to say. I'm getting better and better at it, and life is getting easier and easier, I must say. Another thing that I find helpful when I just kind of don't have a ton of energy is to focus on areas that make the biggest difference in my home. So if I really don't feel like cleaning and I probably only want to dedicate 10 minutes of cleaning, I say, what is going to make the biggest difference? For me, typically it's the kitchen or laundry. If I fold up my laundry, I feel like that already helps me out a lot, because now I don't have to go digging through the bags to find clothes to wear. My husband doesn't have to do that. Now I don't have laundry bags piled all over the floor, laundry spilling out. So laundry is one. And then the other one is my kitchen, because I'm in the kitchen majority of the day. In fact, we all pass through the kitchen a lot. So for me, it's definitely going to be my kitchen. I just feel like it makes the whole house feel fresher, especially because our kitchen is connected to the kitchenette area where we eat. It's connected to our family room where the family normally hangs out. It's connected to the hallway. The hallway goes into the living room. The kitchen is that area that's just like the central place of our home. So yes, that is probably going to make the biggest impact of cleaning. So if you don't feel like cleaning, I would say start there. And if you still have a little bit of motivation, then keep going. And if you don't, then go ahead and look at the cleaning playlist that I have on my channel, and hopefully that gives you a little bit more motivation as well. have really been leaning into slow and intentional living. Life with kids and homeschooling, cleaning isn't always top priority. And this is something my husband told me when I was like extremely frustrated. He was like, you do not have to clean right now. And I'm like, it has to get done. I had to realize what he was trying to say. It's like, it's not that we don't need it. It's just that sometimes it's not important at that moment. You know, sometimes our children are more important. Our spouse is more important. Homeschooling is more important. There are things that are sometimes top priority. And if you are in that situation where the reason why you can't get it done and the reason why you don't feel like cleaning is because you've been up all night long with your teething baby, or because you have been busy all day long homeschooling, that is completely okay. Give yourself some grace and lean more into those moments that are a priority for you right now, and find the joy in that and the contentment in that. Remember that a lived-in home is a loved-in home. You can always look around and see little things in your home that point towards love. Again, the toys that have been played with, the baking utensils on the counter from when you were baking muffins or when you were cooking breakfast for your family, a kitchen table filled with all of the things from homeschooling, from devotions with my husband, from him working at the table, from them eating lunch. You can always see little bits of love sprinkled all around the house. So in the moment right now, while I am cleaning, I kind of just left some things, like the little table next to the recliner. That little table, it looks a little messy and cluttered. On that table, my husband has his little box of tissue for the cold winter season. He has his iPad there. He keeps his Bible studies there. He keeps his laptop there. This is another place where he likes to get up in the morning and go sit and just get some work done, because it brings him joy and peace. I would much rather that little table stays cluttered than him feel like he has to go downstairs into the basement to work, where we probably won't see him. He probably won't get a whole lot of sunlight, so figure out which is top priority for you when it comes to the cleaning and the decluttering, and give yourself some grace in that way. My rule is keep it sanitized, keep it like dust free, disinfected. And if that is done, then I feel like the rest of it, you can definitely go easy on yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm really encouraging you to just surrender to perfection. Things do not have to be perfect. It just doesn't. So the final way that I want to encourage you in cleaning when you just don't feel like it is to meditate on some scripture while you are cleaning. Use that time to reflect on God's promises and truths. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18 says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." Psalms chapter 51 verse 10 says, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me." 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 33 says, "For God is not a God of disorder, but of peace." This just reminds you to find peace in God and not in external resources. I would love for you to check out the vlog that I posted last week if you need a bit more insights on finding God for peace and not relying on external resources. But cleaning just becomes much more meaningful when paired with moments of spiritual renewal, and it just works. I have looked to so many different things for motivation when I don't feel like it, especially when it comes to homemaking and cleaning, and through I'm always led back to the same greater thing, and that's God. And it works every time. Some things that I just want you to remember is that cleaning your home isn't just about tidying a physical space. It's about creating an environment where your family can flourish and where God's peace can dwell. I want you to start small and focus on what matters, and give yourself grace throughout the process, remembering that the goal is not perfection. Surrender to perfection. It is faithfulness in serving your family that glorifies God in the everyday moments of life. Now, in case you guys have been wondering where are my children while I'm doing all of this cleaning, my son has kind of just been running about, and my daughter started off inside of her infant swing, the Graco swing, which she truly loves it. She's been loving that swing since she was 2 weeks old. She's now 6 months old and still loving that swing. But now she's moved. I have her in the bassinet, and that bassinet does lower, but she's kind of content for a very small amount of time inside the bassinet. So I basically just utilize, swings and bassinets and play gyms and bouncers, and I kind of just rotate them as she gets bored. If that doesn't work, I will wear her, and if I can't wear her, then I'll ask my husband to take her. You just do what you can when you got the little one. And it wasn't always this easy. Again, she's 6 months. In the beginning, it just took a whole lot of grace and not prioritizing cleaning sometimes. We're now getting to the place where she can be content for a little bit longer, and then soon we're gonna have to be moving on to child-proofing the home, because she's almost at the stage where she just wants to move around a whole lot more, but she's not crawling yet. So I could probably lay her in the middle of the floor and she'll be okay for a little while on the rug or on a play mat. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of baby proofing soon. So if you want to see that, then go ahead and comment below and let me know, and I'll share some child proofing with you guys.
I would never give more than I could handle on my own, but I don't know if I believe that to be true. 'Cause there've been some times when I've been all alone and wanted to give up, but you helped me stand. Yeah. God, He used you, shined right through you in ways you will never know, so many ways that you'll never know. Mountain mover, bulletproof, yeah. You made me stronger. You had a faith that I'll never know. No, you had a faith that I'll never know. You prayed away rainy days, even kept a smile if they stayed. 'Cause either way, you stood on the rock and not on the sand. No. It's sweet memories of all the little things you did to show me love, and you helped me stand. Yeah. God, He used you, shined right through you in ways you will never know, so many ways that you'll never know. Mountain mover, bulletproof, yeah. You made me stronger. You had a faith that I'll never know. Yeah, you had a faith that I'll never know. Kings will rise and fall, bending for the fame. And seasons come and go, and time will bring some pain. But if there's one thing that I know, you will always remain the same. Yeah. No, you'll never change. No.
I do hope that you found some motivation in this video as it pertains to cleaning, and that it speaks to your heart as a homemaker and helps you to tackle the messes with purpose, and to maybe change your perspective a little bit and find ways to gain encouragement and peace when you just really don't feel like taking care of the cleaning and the homemaking that we kind of just have to do every single day. Let me know what you thought down below in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you would give it a thumbs up. It goes a long way. I truly appreciate it, and it also helps me to know what type of content you guys like and what resonates with you. If you are new here, my name is Heaven. I love sharing motherhood motivation and homemaking inspiration. I'm a homeschool mama, a Disney mama that travels to Disney World. We have a Disney family vlog that I would love for you to subscribe to if you have not done so already. But if you stay through to the end of this video, then it's just meant to be. Go ahead and join my family. I would love to see your face around here and hear from you in the comments section below. But thank you so much for watching this video and spending a little bit of time with me, allowing me to share some motivation and encouragement with you. I will see you guys in the next video. Happy homemaking.